In the luxury segment for watches, whenever you think about high-end gems, innovations, skillful craftsmanship, and sophistication, Cartier is the brand to beat. Cartier takes pride in being more than just a wristwatch company. It is all about leaving a lasting legacy. However, it is still a physical asset, and while trends and values for such items have changed frequently, we must ask ourselves the burning question: how does Cartier retain their value? Cartier may have always been thoroughly respected within the watch community, but their explosive popularity has been undeniable in recent years. You can easily see a lot of similarities in quality with other popular brands like Rolex and Patek Philippe. But in terms of being a potential goldmine in investments, how does Cartier match up? While it's impossible to predict what any market will be like in the future, there are a couple of factors in Cartier's favor that needs to be considered. For starters, Cartier watches are quite rare. The age-old saying, "absence makes the heart grow fonder," comes into play here. Whenever something isn't easily accessible, it tends to increase in worth. Could it be that individuals are frustrated with their inability to gain access? We guess we'll never know. However, if you look closely at a brand like Rolex, you'll discover that the high demand to limited supply ratio propels Rolexes' worth to the moon. The same can be said for Cartier. Did you know, with a valuation of over $2.7 million, the Cartier Secret Phoenix Decor watch is one of the most expensive Cartier watches ever to exist? What makes it so expensive? A major reason why it is so absurdly expensive was that it was simply one of a kind. Nothing on earth feels like it. Also, the piece was made of 18-karat white gold with diamond garnishing. Why wouldn't it be super expensive? As indicated earlier, the basic reality is that the more difficult it is for individuals to obtain something, the higher its price. The brand, Cartier, makes an estimated 490,000 pieces annually, and that even includes jewelry, so obviously the number of timepieces itself would even be considerably less than that. Another factor at play that has to be taken into consideration is a unique style that the brand proudly shows. Over the years, the watch community has been plagued with an influx of steel watches, and to be fair, it's starting to get boring because basically everything looks the same. It's just like a school with everyone in uniform. There's no confident swagger, no razzle-dazzle. Then comes Cartier with easily distinguishable models in their lineup. Yes, it may look unusual to many people, but that's a likely reason why they tend to hold their value quite well. Let's take a look at the Cartier Panther watch, for example. If you look closely, you will realize it has a distinctive style. If you keep it amid various random steel watches from different manufacturers, it will most likely be one that stays with you the longest. And why? It's simple. It stands out. Ever since Cartier was founded in 1847, they have had a long and rich history, which they have in turn kept really well over the years. This is a valuable point for Cartier, and here's why. For over a century, Cartier has been synonymous with high-end quality. People trust the brand and keep coming back because they know whenever they buy a timepiece, they will definitely get a swell time with it. Speaking of which, do you know the brand name itself is responsible for why a watch is so highly valued? Look at Rolex and Patek Philippe, for example. There are a couple of models that, when you factor in the materials used to make it and the workmanship involved in crafting, the asking price of the watch is dramatically above. Are you being cheated on? Well, that's not the case. So many big brands out there in areas like jewelry and shoes have a similar result. Because of the name, familiarity, and quality assurance, you can't possibly expect it to be cheap. Don't even get us started about the materials used to make a Cartier watch. Whether you're a fan or not, it's undeniable that Cartier uses top-of-the-line, high-quality, sometimes even exotic materials while crafting. And this is one of the major reasons why they do so well in value retention. They even appreciate it sometimes. In most Cartier watches, you would see precious diamonds without color, which is even rarer and more valuable than tinted diamonds. Also, Cartier tends to use rose gold and yellow gold, which is substantially valuable on their own. In every case, you'd notice a sapphire crystal, which we can all agree to be the best possible material for the face of a watch due to the fact that they are super resistant to scratches. Only a diamond can scratch it. Don't get it twisted though. It's not just the materials that make a Cartier retain its value. Every Cartier watch produced was meticulously designed to feature a movement that is simply very efficient. Now the burning question: are Cartier watches actually a good investment? In the world of horology, everyone knows the Cartier brand to be one of the biggest dogs. Their long-established brand has a super rich lineage, and they always seem to set their hearts out on making pretty, functional, and technologically advanced watches. So many Cartier watches have been proven to retain their value over the years. As a matter of fact, several more have a higher worth on the pre-owned market than when they were purchased at first. Also, keeping the original box with all the official papers is a brilliant idea, as it would certainly help in the valuation during resale. So, which Cartier watches have the highest resale value? To be fair, it's impossible to be 100% sure about what models would hold the best value over the years. Some styles tend to have more value than others. Also, keep in mind that a watch's resilience over more than a century makes it really likely to maintain relevance and desire in the foreseeable future. With that in mind, here are a few Cartier watch styles with a high potential resale value. For starters, the Cartier tank. Inspired by the tanks used in World War I, this watch picked a lot of love and admiration. So many admirers felt emotionally bound to it. It's also one of Cartier's most popular styles, and in terms of relevance, this timelessly designed watch doesn't seem to back down anytime soon. Also, the Santos de Cartier, one of the pioneers of pilot watches, is worth investing in. It has a distinguishable geometric dial, beautifully curved horns, and exposed screws as a signature move. It's also important to note that this particular piece is considered to be one of the most collectible models of Cartier. The discontinued Calibre de Cartier may be worth looking into as well. It's a sporty, masculine watch, and while its discontinuation may be a bad omen, it could also create a scarcity over time, ultimately increasing its value, so keep that in mind. Since the early 1900s, the Panther de Cartier has been one of the most popular Cartier timepieces. Also, it's interesting to note that using precious metals like diamonds, gold, and other gemstones to craft the Panther de Cartier easily makes it a model that would hold its value. Another watch from Cartier that could potentially have a high resale value is the Pasha de Cartier. When it first burst onto the horology scene in 1985, it quickly gained a lot of attention from enthusiasts and collectors alike. Some of the most distinguishing features of the Pasha de Cartier are its large bezel, a screw-down crown, and of course its rounded case to match. While the Pasha may only be for some, it would certainly remain to be a valuable timepiece to those who love making a bold statement. When the Balloon de Cartier was first unveiled in 2007, no one could have predicted how popular this item would become. Did you know Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales and the Duchess of Cambridge are also admirers? It features a polished bracelet, a circular sculptural case, and a one-of-a-kind blue bubble of the winding crown. So it's safe to say it's a modern style that will be valuable for many years to come. So, should you buy a Cartier watch? Having made it this far, we're sure you can agree that some Cartier watches have everything necessary to be a solid investment over the years. If you're looking into the Cartier market to see what they can offer, you can rest assured that you would be getting a high-quality investment both in terms of technology and the utilized materials. But here are the most important things to remember. In terms of investment potential, thanks to their popularity and reputation for quality, Cartier watches hold value well and sometimes even appreciate. However, given that not every model is popular, some of them don't do as well to hold their value better on the secondary market.